Thinking about buying a franchise? Then the How to Buy a Franchise show is just for you. Here's your host, Dr. John Hayes.
Yes.
So when people come to the expo, they often think, franchising is going to be a lot of food. So I don't know, maybe I want a burger franchise, maybe a pizza franchise. And then they come in here and they say, wow, I didn't know that sign making was a franchised business.
Right.
Or that right down the row here is a guy with boulders.
Right.
Who comes up with these?
Yeah, exactly.
Or Experamac. You mean I can take a Mac or I can take an Apple product and I can resell it, I can repair it?
My pre-loved Apple product, that's why I like to look at them, right?
Right.
Yes, exactly.
So people, they come and they find out there's a whole nother world through franchising, and sometimes they're going to go away because it's a Signorama, or maybe it's an Embroid Me, or maybe it's an Experamac, that they think, that's my future. That's the way I can build a business. Franchising gives those opportunities. So people are coming here saying, I'm looking for something to do different. I don't have a job, or I want to get rid of my job, or I know I'm going to lose my job, or whatever it might be. And I need to invest in something that'll be good for me.
That's right.
It's not only something that'll make me money, but something that I'm going to want to be part of.
And I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to wake up in the morning, and my general manager JJ used to say, you can wake up two ways in the morning. It's either good morning, God, or good God, it's morning. Which is it going to be, okay?
Yeah.
And we prefer the good morning, God piece, where you're like, I'm excited to wake up today. I'm excited to go in there and do what I do. And, years ago, you remember the Dunkin' Donuts, okay? And there used to be an ad on Dunkin' Donuts, and Fred the donut maker used to say, time to make the donuts. You remember that guy, right?
I remember that commercial.
See, in the Signorama side, it's never the same. So the customers coming in each day, I'm not making the same donut day after day. In the Embroid Me side, I'm not sewing out the same shirts or giving the same promotional products. It's always a new challenge, a new opportunity to serve the customer, and that's what I think keeps our franchisees so excited about what they do.
Yeah. So going back to what Zig said, you are helping these people. They didn't know it was going to be through signs or through computer equipment, or Super Green. They didn't, or Trans World Business Advisors. They didn't know it was going to be through that means of business. But that's not important in franchising.
No.
What's important is this relationship that's built between franchisor and franchisor. And United Franchise Group, I think this is what sets you apart, that you make the commitment that developing the relationship comes up front. It's first and foremost.
I think you're right, because people do business with people they like.
Yes.
Or people do business with people, and preferably with people they like and they know. And the only way they get to like you and know you is if you spend time with them.
Yeah.
And not just in the transactional business sense, but in all those other aspects. Know that they know that you're there, they can depend on you. And we really pride ourselves at UFG and Signorama and Embroid Me, these other brands, to say, look, it's probably an overplayed cliche. You're in business for yourself, but not by yourself.
Yes.
We go well beyond that. We're not just a bunch of stiff suits that are saying, make sure you send your royalty in on the first of the month.
Yeah.
We want to look at it this way. When Ray and the team put together the mission statement years ago, it's very simple. We have one customer, our franchisee. When they're successful, we're successful. This is not rocket science, John. All you got to do is the right things to help the franchisees be successful, and you will grow as a brand accordingly.
Yeah. So in spite of all this and these wonderful things that we're saying, and for yourself but not by yourself, and helping other people get what they want, in spite of all this, some franchisees fail. How do you explain it? How does that happen?
No, it's a good question, and recently I was in a conversation with somebody, and they said, well, you have somebody who went into business and then they got out of business. And I said, that's true, but let me ask you this. Do you know anybody who took a job and after their first year on the job decided this was not the right job for them? Sure, that happens all the time. So why would owning a business be different than being hired to run a business, okay? And really, failure it's kind of it's a subjective thing, because what we look to do is if someone goes into the business and decides for whatever reason, this isn't for me, or personal things happen, life happens around them, it's a divorce, something happens with a child, et cetera, and they need to then move on and get out of the business, we've put a structure in place that helps them do that, an exit strategy. So whether that's a year from now or 10 years from now, we think it's important to help that person get back on track with their life goals, whatever season of life they're moving into, and at the same time do the right thing for the brand and for the company.
Yes.
And that's a transition period that we've put in place, and having Transworld Business Advisors helps us even do that more, because now we have a specific system that helps that franchisee be able to move on and move out of the system.
So what is it, though? What are the number one or two or three things that are getting getting in the way between a franchisee and success? What are they not doing or doing that causes this to happen?
Yeah, that's a good question too. I think a lot of times what happens on the franchising side is a franchisee comes into business, and I know this is true for Sinorama and Embroid Me and UFG, and we say, look, the benefit of being in a franchise is sometimes what we tell you to do, but it also comes in the value of what we tell you not to do. Because we've done some of those things and said, hey, that doesn't work, don't go down that road.
Yeah.
But when you bring franchisees into the business, we also say to them, we're not looking for robots. We're not looking for someone who's mindless as a drone and just comes in and does what we say to do. We want you to bring your business acumen, your business experience, and couple it with our system, and we can predict what's going to happen if you do that. Sometimes people come in, they're a little too smart for themselves, and they say, yes, I bought a franchise, but I'm not going to do those things. I already have my other way of doing it. And if that was the case, you probably should have gone into business independently.
Yes.
If you buy a franchise and you're not going to follow the steps, then why buy it?
Why buy it?
It doesn't make sense. The second would be, I think folks may undercapitalize themselves. So they may come in, you know what they say, it's not over till the fat lady sings,
Yeah.
or the check doesn't clear the bank.
Yes.
It's one of those two things, okay? So making sure that you go in, you've done a good budget and a good projection, and you've got that financial backing behind you, so that as you get in that ramp-up period, you know you're able to cover your personal expenses, home expenses, et cetera, on the other side.
Yeah.
And then the third thing is sometimes people just don't follow the program.
Yeah.
They either come in and think they know better, so they do their own thing, or they just don't do the thing. So for us, for example, we have 6 keys. We say you give great quality work, you service the heck out of the customer, you get involved in the clubs and organizations in your community, you market and promote the business, you make sure you advertise, and you protect the brand. And it's kind of like baking a cake. If you decide, I don't like eggs, and you don't put the eggs in the cake is not going to be very
Gonna
good.
flop.
No.
Yeah.
So you got to do all 6 things. You got to
Yes.
do them consistently and constantly.
Thank you for listening to How to Buy a Franchise Show. If you want immediate assistance, visit howtobuyafranchise.com to contact Dr. John Hayes for a free consultation.